There are 77 different spells in Harry Potter universe, ranging from Aguamenti to Wingardium Leviosa. But which spells are actually gonna make it to Hogwarts Legacy? As much as we want all of them to make it to the game, I think the developers are gonna skip a couple of less important spells. For example, I don't think we need the spell that grows antlers out of our opponent's head, or the spell that makes our enemy talk nonsense.
Washington today, and my tiny little nipples went to France.
What did he just say?
Yeah, I think we're gonna be okay if we skip those. However, there are some spells that you cannot avoid in Harry Potter universe. So here's the list of must-have spells in Hogwarts Legacy. I'm Ben Snow, let's get started. The first group of spells I call the Essentials. These are the spells that every witch and wizard learns in the first couple of years at Hogwarts. The first would be Reparo. It's a very useful and practical charm that could be used to seamlessly repair a broken object and basically works on anything. Depulso, a charm that you would use to push objects away from you. And the opposite to this would be Accio, a summoning charm that you would use to summon objects at a distance into your arms. Lumos is an illuminating charm. It basically works like a flashlight. And there's also a more powerful version which is called Lumos Maxima. Oh, by the way, there's actually a magical way how you can upgrade your spells to the lore, but I will talk about that at the end of the video. The next spell is a Carpe Retractum charm that produces a magical retractable cord of light that could be used to pull objects towards you, or you would pull yourself towards the object. Essentially, it works like a grappling hook. And of course, we have Wingardium Leviosa, which we all know that one is a levitation spell. I mean, I'm sure it's in there. So these are the essentials. Now, we know that we're going to be taking classes in Hogwarts Legacy, and we will have to know specific spells for each class. For example, Transfiguration will require us to know Vera Verde is one of the Transfiguration charm. However, there are a few Transfiguration charms like Lapifos or Draconicus. I'm not sure which one we're gonna see in the game, but we did see one Transfiguration charm performed in the reveal trailer. Which one do you think that was? Let me know in the comments below. For Herbology, we'll have to know Herbivicus, which allows the plants to grow at a very rapid rate. And also we would have to water these plants, I'm sure, and that would be Aguamenti and Aquaeracto. Aguamenti produces a small stream of water that you would use to water the plants or fill yourself a glass of water. Aquaeracto, on the other hand, produces a powerful stream of water that you could potentially use in dueling. You would knock your enemy off their feet with a powerful stream of water or extinguish fires. So that's that. Also, we're going to be exploring different locations in Hogwarts Legacy. And for that, we will need to know Alohomora, which is an unlocking spell. But if perhaps we need to hide away, or if we need to hide something, then we would need to know Colloportus, which you use to lock the doors. In case we're gonna explore the Black Lake, we will need to know the Bubblehead charm, which would allow us to breathe underwater. And in case of emergency, we can always use Ascendio, which would propel us from under the water. The next group is the Dueling spells. These are the defensive/offensive spells. Protego is a spell we would use to deflect incoming spells. Stupefy, also known as the Stunning spell, which we use to knock our enemy unconscious. Petrificus Totalis is the Paralyzing spell. Then there is Rictusempra, it's a Tickling spell, and it is known to have at least 2 side effects. Levicorpus, a spell that propels our enemy away from us. Now, this one I'm not quite sure about because Levicorpus was invented by James Potter and he's not in this timeline. But we did see a version of Levicorpus in the revealed trailer where we set the enemy in the air and then smash it on the ground. Let me know in the comments, what do you think that spell is? I believe this is a version of Levicorpus. And then we've seen the Dementors in the revealed trailer, so we should know Expecto Patronum. That's the best way to get rid of them. Oh, and I wonder if we're gonna have different Patronus specific to our character. And then we have Impedimenta. It is a jinx that essentially stops the opponent from moving. It's not quite like Petrificus Totalis, however, you would, if the enemy is running away or moving too fast, you would use Impedimenta to slow it down. Potentially, we could also use this spell when looking for fantastic beasts. If a grab horn is charging at us, we could use Impedimenta to slow it down. And I believe we've seen it, something like Impedimenta in the reveal trailer, when grab horn charges at us and the guy casts a spell but then it bounces off. So let me know in the comments, what do you think that spell was? And also similar to Impedimenta, there is Immobilis. It essentially freezes or slows things down, like we saw in Chamber of Secrets when when Hermione calmed down the pixies. So yeah. And of course, there should be Expelliarmus, a disarming charm. I mean, I'm sure it's there. Then the next set of spells that must be in Hogwarts Legacy are the destructive or explosive spells. So the first would be Reducto, which essentially destroys a given object. It is a counter spell to Reparo. Then we have Incendio, which creates a small fiery explosion. We would use it to set things on fire. And then we have Bombarda, which causes a small explosion that could make holes in the walls and stuff like that. And there is also Bombarda Maxima, which is a more stronger and more powerful version of the spell. And then we have two powerful spells that are very similar, Expulso and Confringo. Confringo causes a massive fiery explosion, and Expulso, on the other hand, creates a massive explosion. The difference is that Confringo causes a fiery explosion, and Expulso uses pressure in its core, so as if a huge amount of pressure was applied to an object. So these are the explosive spells. In one of the posts from the developers, they've talked about the destruction. So these spells must be in there, and they're super fun. Like I hope we're gonna be able to destroy like almost everything in the castle and the surrounding areas, and then put it back together with Reparo. You know, it's fun. And we could definitely use all of these spells in Dueling. And this is another thing, like I hope that we can use any of the spells, Dueling or not, at any given moment. Also, I wanted to mention that based on some of the leaks, we're not gonna see the unforgivable spells in Hogwarts Legacy, which are Crucio, Imperio, and Avada Kedavra. Which kind of makes sense because the usage of any of these spells grants a one-way ticket to Azkaban. So perhaps maybe if we do use it, at the end of the game we just get sent to Azkaban and then that's it, game over. But I don't think we're gonna Avada Kedavra everybody at school. Which is fine. I mean, there's so many other ways how you can kill a person using other spells, like even Aqua Oracto, you just drown the freaking... or use Incendio to burn them. So yeah, I don't think we're gonna see the unforgivable spells, which is fine. And then there's one little spell that I really hope there's gonna be in the game, that is Ibublio, which essentially entraps your target in a bubble. It could be very useful in Dueling, and I believe we've seen a version of it in the Order of the Phoenix when Dumbledore fought Voldemort. He put Voldemort into this watery bubble, which I think was a combination of Ibublio and Aqua Oracto. So I hope we're gonna see at least a version of it in the game. So now talking about the upgrades. So in Harry Potter universe, there are quite a few spells that have different levels of power. For example, there's Incendio, Incendio Duo, Incendio Trio. And then for example, there's Bombarda and Bombarda Maxima. And there's Lumos, Lumos Duo, Lumos Maxima. And there are a few others like that. So a lot of the spells have the Duo, Trio, and Maxima added to them, which essentially makes the spell more powerful. So basically there's this upgrade system within the lore of the Wizarding World. It's kind of cool. And then also some of the spells are so-called modifiers, which essentially either strengthen the power of the spell or change its direction. One of them is Magicos Extremos, which makes your spells more powerful for a short period of time. It's basically like gives you just a boost, which is super cool, and it's like in the lore. Also, there are some potions that also boost the power of your spells for a short period of time. And this is awesome. It's kind of funny that the upgrade system is in the universe, is in the Wizarding World. I hope the developers are gonna utilize this feature in the game because, I mean, Like imagine you can take the potion that increases your power and then you cast the Magicus Extremus and boom, you're invincible for a short period of time. That would be freaking awesome. I hope the developers are gonna utilize this awesome feature. And I mean, it's in the lore. It's not like just a game mechanics. It's in the Wizarding world. So yeah, these are the must-have spells in Hogwarts Legacy, and this is already over 25 spells. But I still think it's possible. It's doable to have these spells. And I mean, in Lego Harry Potter, I believe there's like all of them are in there. There's the tentacle head, antlers in the head, a person singing, like all kinds of spells. You can just go in the store and buy them. And here, for example, we could, go to a library, find a specific book, and then learn, study, and practice a spell. I think that would be amazing if we could do that and learn all of them, which of course would require a lot of time, but still, I mean, it's possible. But regardless of all the number of the spells, I think the most important is how we're gonna use the spells. And more like, what are the mechanics of using the spells in the game? And this is something I wanna talk about in the next video. All right, you guys, thank you for watching. Make sure to hit the like if you like this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit that bell notification so you don't miss out on my future videos. Have a good one.